All right, welcome to the Insurance Marketing Brain Dump. My name is Keagan with BriteBee.com, where we help agents be found online. I've got Chris Paradiso here with Paradiso Insurance and Paradiso Presents.
Good morning, y'all.
Wow.
Well, I'm close to Texas.
Oklahoma.
We're in Phoenix. Sunny, hot, warm,
Wow.
beautiful Phoenix.
All
And we have
right.
a special guest today.
We do
Keagan.
have a special guest, Sam, and I'm going to read this. He is the Senior Director of Research and Innovation
Yes.
for
agents.
agents.
Yes.
Can you pronounce
Awesome.
his last name for me?
I will not, because I'm going to botch
It's a
it.
little inside joke, guys.
Yes. So, Sam, thanks for being here, and really appreciate you. I've talked to you last night,
Yeah.
and
Thanks for having me.
I was inspired, and I want to talk to you a lot more. So I'm going to be that.
We want to make sure agents want to reach out to Sam. LinkedIn is the place, and
Yes,
you'll
absolutely.
be able to
Definitely
properly
But
pronounce
you're
and
on,
spell
you're
your
on
last
Twitter as well, right?
I am on Twitter as well, yes.
Okay, what's
absolutely.
your
Sam
handle
Affolter,
here?
At Sam Affolter.
Okay, can you spell that real quick?
AFFOLTER.
Awesome.
name. Agents want to connect with a technology guy like this because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of questions agents might have. He's the guy that's going to be able to answer them.
Definitely. Yeah. So tell us, Sam, real quick, what do you actually do?
Yeah.
And then tell us I love to hear your background.
Yeah.
So tell us just a little bit about your background, because it's very
Sure.
interesting.
Yeah, so my team looks for discovering and developing new unexpected value for agents and their customers. So basically, we're looking for the things that will enable agents to be competitive against direct across the board. So
Can you repeat that again? Agents?
to be competitive against direct.
I hope you heard that.
And then from a background perspective, so I started at Safeco back in 2007 in underwriting, actually. Went over to product.
Underwriting.
Yes,
I would never
yes.
pick you as an underwriter.
Right. Well, I was in re-underwriting, so I was looking at agents' books, trying to
Okay.
figure out if they had any issues that we could help to fix for them, whether it be on the quoting side, loss profitability stuff. Moved over to product for about 3 years, then went into marketing as a marketing analytics manager, and then went over to Amazon, and was at Amazon for about 3.5 years before getting this role.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Are you able to say what you did with Amazon?
Yeah, so if you know Prime Now, which is the 2-hour delivery, so I helped to launch Prime Now. So I was on the launch team for the first year.
Pretty smart dude right here.
I don't feel like I can be in his presence.
Pretty smart
I know,
dude.
right? So, okay, so you came back to Safeco. So
Yeah.
one of the things I want to point out, though, is that you're fighting against that direct to consumer,
absolutely.
right?
Yes.
And Safeco, well, Liberty more so, does a direct to consumer as well.
Sure.
But what's really interesting with the carrier is that I don't think this is not a downplay at all. Like, this is a good thing. Like, you guys have both sides, and
Yeah.
you're working. You're fighting against it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're helping the agent, and also you're showing value to the carrier. And
Yeah.
the carrier, as what we can hear, I mean, we're at the conference now. Like, they believe in the
Yes,
agent.
absolutely.
So, but I think it's just like agents.
I could
we
only
need to be in
imagine if
multiple
only
channels.
every agent heard how strongly they believe in the
Yeah.
IA channel. It's powerful. It's
It is.
moving.
Yep.
That I don't think other agency owners and other agents might have that same feeling. You need to see it and feel it.
Yeah.
When you're here, you feel it, you see it, you hear it. It's on every conversation, on every topic.
It's in our DNA. It's in our
It is.
blood, right?
It is in
Yeah,
your DNA,
absolutely.
which is really opened my eyes to a whole different Liberty/Safeco
Yeah.
perception.
But I think
Awesome.
something with agents, sometimes we have this idea that, the carriers are trying to go a different direction. They're trying to replace us and everything else. And I would challenge that. There are some carriers out there that are literally saying, like, we are trying to
Yep.
replace, right? We're trying to get rid of it. They don't see the value. But I believe there's a lot of carriers who are good business people that are actually trying to make sure that they are in multiple different channels, just like us agents, us business people should be doing this. We should be doing the same thing,
Absolutely.
right? We should be dipping our toes in the same type of water that they are. It may not be on the same scale, but we can still have a piece of that pie.
Well, and I
Right.
think it's a lot of it's about having your digital presence, right? Like, how do you? The direct carrier is a person who is a carrier that is only direct, right? And
Yeah.
and only digital for the most part. So, like, how do we enable agents to be more digital so that they can
Yes.
compete, on par with those direct carriers?
So what's the answer to that? How? What?
Yeah.
What do
So
you?
I think,
what are you
like-
seeing? What do you?
Yeah, I would say two things. Like, one is we just need to be able to test things more, feel good about and confident that we're going to fail, but we're going to fail forward, and we're going to be iterative in our failings, right? And we're going to so start small and build.
So
right?
so I
Brain dump.
I
Hold
am
on. Repeat that brain dump.
I know, right?
Fail forward.
Yep.
Fail forward. I always try to teach this to my kids all the time. Failing is not a bad thing.
Right.
Failing and not understanding why you failed is a problem. It's like losing and being beaten.
Yep.
I don't mind getting beat by somebody better, but I'm not, you're damned and you're not going to beat me. You know, being beaten and losing, we're not going to lose.
Well, I always talk about that agents have got to start thinking like a startup. Like
Absolutely.
they've got to be able to go out there, try some new things. And even today when we were listening, one agent on the video said it's like investing, right? You're investing in multiple different things, and you may lose on many, but that 10% could actually make you a ton of money and give you a ton of opportunity.
Absolutely.
And so what I want to ask you is, when I say an agent should think about like being a startup, right?
Yep.
Starting from scratch, being scrappy. It doesn't mean they have to spend all their money to do it.
Right.
What are some things that come to mind?
I mean, I think that there's, and you spoke to it, right? Rocket referral is an amazing way for folks to be able to really be able to market themselves, and you can do so on the cheap. Yeah, and so like finding those things,
cheap.
right? Finding those types of things that enable you as an agent to be able to test into it, see if it works. If it doesn't work for you, you haven't lost a lot, right? And so being able to do that again and again and again. I'd also say, like, and something that I took from Amazon was the idea of working backwards. Find out what your solution, what you want that solution to be, and work into that. How do I come back and say, okay, that's my ideal state. Right. How do I get to that ideal state? And what's the small thing that I can do today that brings me a little bit closer to that?
Because a lot of the times we're somewhat paralyzed by, this is our end goal.
Yeah.
We have no idea how to get there.
Yeah, and don't build that right now. Instead, build the little thing that helps you to.
And that's everyone, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but isn't it the
carrier.
thought process? He said start backwards. Right. I don't think, including myself, I don't think a lot of us think that way. And I think that really opens to what you're saying. So the end goal is this, but we know we can't get there, so maybe we should start here. And it's a starting point that continues to move us forward by thinking, starting, coming back.
Yeah.
I hope people listen to that, because
do you feel like power. Amazon did that when you were there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so walk us through that a little. Give us a visual of like how that process actually works, because it's systematic.
Yeah, so they have a really cool thing called a PRFAQ, which is a press release and frequently asked questions document.
Okay.
So this is the first thing, and my team does this for everything that we do. So the idea is, start with the press release. Start as if the thing that you're doing was being released to the press. What would the value prop be? What would that thing that you would want the customer to know about that really shows off what this idea is, right? That should be your first thing. Then from there, what are the questions that generates, both internally and externally? So like, I have this idea. How would marketing react to that? What are the questions that marketing would have? Okay, how do I answer those questions? What about technology? What types of technology questions would the technologists have? How do I answer those questions? And doing that in just a Word document, so that you're not putting a bunch of effort into this, and you can throw that away pretty quick if it turns out that it's a garbage idea, right? But that helps you to iterate and helps you to think about, like, okay, first from the press release, how do I get there?
Right.
Sounds like Google really is helping you here in insurance by going through some of these processes and maybe not thinking of them in the traditional way, to be able to. You brought it over here and you said, we do this with our team all the time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're helping me right now, and in our startup right now, I'm thinking, okay, that's really, because I mean, how many times do we create technology and we go, crap, that wasn't exactly the value prop. Like the value prop I'm giving, it's made sense in my mind. And it makes, but on paper, it does not make sense, right?
Right.
And so how do we tailor that? How do we pivot from that?
Yeah.
And man, that's...
And the beauty part of it is, I think, twofold. One is, as I mentioned, like the amount of time that you put into that Word doc is going to be not as much as if you had this idea and you started building right away.
Right.
And so you feel more comfortable about throwing it away. right?
Sure.
It's okay to
Yeah.
fail fast and fail forward in that space, and you're failing a lot faster, and you're okay giving up, right?
Yep.
Giving
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
idea
giving
away
that
and,
idea
and, and grabbing something else.
Right.
So I think that's huge. I think that the other part is like, with that press release, you tie everybody who reads that to that value prop, to that vision, and align there first, and then go and work on it, right?
So
Make sure that everybody's aligned.
Do you share
Very
that? Do you share that externally with people? I mean, do you test it? I mean, because
Yeah.
some people are like, "Oh, I'm not testing that. I don't want to give my idea away." And I'm like, "Do you guys know how hard it is to get to this idea?
Right,
Like,
right,
seriously,
right,
like they're gonna forget about it because they don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
But how do you test that?
So my team is research and innovation, not just the innovation side.
Yeah.
So we actually have a team of awesome researchers who go and work with agents, and actually we'll take ideas and we'll put them in front of an agent panel to get an understanding of whether or not those are good things for agents. Then we stack rank those and say, okay, these are the things that we should go after first because agents think that they're the best.
Sam, you're a smart dude. There's
You
no
know
question.
what I'm thinking right now, right?
You hit me so hard with some of your comments that we got some stuff to do.
Gosh.
Awesome.
All
Good
right,
stuff,
so
Sam. Really good stuff. It is.
We're testing this. So I want to give a realistic picture for an agent who's
Yeah.
listening, and I want to take this to community. Okay, this same type of I'm going to innovate in our community. I'm going to do something different that people are not doing right now, and being able to do a press release of what you envision. It's, how many times we want to do something in the community that's huge. It's huge. And then you figure out, like,
Holy
this is not as big.
smokes, it takes a lot of work, and a lot of time, and a lot of money.
So what if agents were literally writing a press release, something to that nature, giving it out to, let's say, the schools or whatever, and they go, "Oh, you're doing this?" Or, "I don't understand," right?
Yes.
And then you can say, "Oh, actually, that's going to happen. It's not happened yet."
Yeah.
And then,
And to the extent that they say, "I don't understand," then you can say,
Sure.
"Well, what don't you understand?" Right?
Right.
And then you can figure out, okay, how do I need to either tweak the value prop that I have, or is it just not valuable enough and they just aren't going to get it at all?
Do you
ever?
understand that I'm implementing this when I get back?
Good.
Everyone's going to be like, "Hey, press releases." And I'm going to be like, "No, this makes sense because
I just hope
doing a
agents
press release."
understand how powerful this message is. And what this can help transform and change the way you're doing business, to change your thought process. This can take you to a whole new level.
And you can do it. You can do it for any idea, any
Any
Just
business,
And
put
it costs you exactly $0.
right. Put it in front of the people that
Yes.
it's going to impact, influence, whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
And test it.
Fail forward.
Right.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Well, we don't have a lot of time left, but
Sam, I can't
see,
thank you enough.
now,
brother.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
now
awesome,
I'm going to be like
awesome.
I'm going to be like the LinkedIn stalker.
Please, please.
Can you just quickly let people know how they can connect with you? I know you're a LinkedIn junkie.
I am a LinkedIn junkie.
And a Twitter junkie.
And a Twitter junkie. So please, Samuel Affolter on LinkedIn or at Sam Affolter on Twitter.
Awesome.
You guys should connect with him. That's the brain dump of this whole conversation.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for both
It was
having me.
inspiring, and we're going to have many more conversations offline.
Thanks, Sam.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. That's a brain dump.